What's going on, everybody? Gabe Cross here, sitting at the vise. I'm going to show you all how to tie my EZ Craw. It's in my Gabe's Guadalupe bass box, along with 4 other awesome flies that'll catch you some more Guadalupe bass. So let's get into tying it. All right, so the hook we have in the vise, size 8 RX curved nip hook. It may seem kind of like a smaller hook for this fly, but around here we have a lot of smaller crawfish, so I really like that hook. And I'm using a 140 denier thread in a red color. Color's not too important, but I kind of like to center around either red or orange. So you start a base of thread, wrap back, and then we're taking some small red colored lead eyes. We're gonna tie those in, get about 10 wraps over this way, then twist them, 10 wraps over the next way, and then 10 helicopter wraps. I'm gonna twist them, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then, so the helicopter wrap, you go over the hook, under the eye, and then you pull. The hook, under the eye, over the hook, under the eye, pull. All right, now we're gonna wrap down the bend of the hook. And I'll go ahead and show you the materials. It's actually not including the eyes and the hook. You only really need 2 materials, which is the Cohen's carp dub and some crawfish colored rabbit strips. This is a crawfish orange. You can use this color or pretty much any kind of brown color. All right, so we're gonna take that zonker strip, we're just get a little bit of hair, clip it off from the hide, and then tie that in. This fly is, I actually invented it for carp, and I took it out to the Lena River and wasn't seeing much carp, and so I started kind of blind casting, you know, throwing it in some deeper pools, and I was pulling out Guadalupe bass left and right. And ever since then, I've been fishing it for bass. It's been working really well for me. So it still works good for carp, but it's definitely in my bass box. Just gonna get a little more of this rabbit fur here. And the thing I like about this fly is I'm actually pretty surprised I haven't seen it already. Who knows, there could be something like it out there, but it's kind of based on multiple kind of carp flies. The number 1 is the Matt Bennett's Carpet Bomb. When I invented this fly, I was actually tying some carpet bombs, but I didn't have the color marabou I wanted. And so I used a rabbit strip, and it was sitting on my desk. And if you haven't seen the carpet bomb, it looks kind of like this, but it's got a bunch of rubber legs on it and whatnot. And it works great. But it was sitting on my desk, and I just pulled the rubber legs off, and I had a whole new fly, and tested it out, and it worked great. It's such a simple fly, which is why I like it so much as a fly tire, because it's simple, easy to tie, and as a fly fisherman, because it works really well. A lot of times, or most of the time actually, it's just really not necessary to have a super fancy fly, and you can just get the job done on some easy fly like this. All right, so we're gonna make a dubbing loop. Get a wrap behind it, and then wrap right up and in front of those eyes. Okay, now this is where the Cohen's carp dubbing comes into play. Take some of that, just a little clump, and well, first get some pliers in there, that loop. And I like to take some wax and put a little bit of wax on one of those threads. It'll just catch that dubbing a little bit easier, make it a little more durable. Just take some of the dubbing, put it in there. You just want to kind of spread it out across your threads like so. And then you just twist it up. And we're going to take a nice fancy dubbing brush. And we're just going to brush this out. You want to make it look pretty messy. You could even tie them in a little bit of, I use a small lead eye, which is actually kind of sort of heavy. You can tie them a little lighter. Sometimes for carp, it's great to have a lighter fly because it won't spook them as easily. So if you want to tie this lighter, you just need to kind of cut down on how much dubbing you use and how much hair you use, so you still get a good sink rate. So you're just gonna wrap that forward. And then tie that off. Now this fly, it is durable, but after a day of fishing it and catching a bunch of fish on it, the eyes will be probably kind of chipped up and whatnot, and it'll still work great. But it's kind of a good sign, you know, if your paint's not getting chipped up, you're probably not fishing it right. It needs to be down on the bottom, digging down into rocks, you know. You get hung on a rock, you just strip hard, it'll pop up and that'll trigger a bite, you know, it works great like that. That's how I fish it. And it doesn't really have the profile of a crawfish, but you know, it's got the colors, it's got the movement, it's just down deep, you know, beating around on the rocks, just like a crawfish. So that's the most important thing, you know, just getting it in the right spot, having the right colors, but number one is movement, and this has just got really good movement. All right, so we got our body, and then you can take a brush and you can kind of brush it out. Sometimes those legs will get kind of trapped, and you can take a bobbin needle and just kind of pull them out. So now you want to take some more of that rabbit fur. Take a little clump, again clip it off the hide. And then this clump right here, you want it to cover up. So we're gonna tie it in right in front of these lead eyes. You want it to cover up the body and a little bit more. So I like it to extend up about halfway onto the tail, if that makes sense. So you're gonna kind of place it on there, and you can kind of pull it around the hook point and then catch it with some thread. You wanna get a loose wrap and then pull down on it. Another loose wrap and pull down. And then it helps to have a good pair of sharp, pointy scissors. And you can actually pull some of this hair back and get a few wraps in front of it. It'll kind of help prop it up. And then you can come in between it, clip it off close. And it can be kind of a little bit of a challenge to make this a nice head on the fly. But if you have, it really does help to have some nice scissors. And then just kind of build up the head, make it look nice and pretty. And then you can whip finish. And then I like to take some UV resin. Now this right here this is what I call the contact point. So it's going to be down on the bottom and around here between the hook eye and the lead eyes. That's the main part of the fly that's going to hit the bottom. So it helps to have some UV resin. This stuff is awesome. You know, you glue it on, shine this UV light on it, and it cures in seconds. And it's really nice and durable. So you really want to soak your threads. So I put some on the exposed threads right here, and then some on my knot and around these threads, and then you want to cover up all those thread wraps at the front. If I tie this for carp though, carp can smell, and it might not make a huge difference, but I don't use glue. You know, you sacrifice some durability, but you know, if you can have a super durable fly and if a carp won't eat it, you know, it's not doing any good. But this one's for bass, so definitely put on some head cement or UV resin. So you can see it just sitting there in my hand. That's the contact point. It'll stand up in the water like that. And it may not really look like a crawfish, but if you ever see crawfish in the water, you know, their pinchers are just flapping around. They got legs going everywhere. And so yeah, that's definitely my favorite crawfish fly. I'm always reaching for this when I'm fishing for Guadalupe bass. And so yeah, if you haven't seen my Guadalupe bass box yet, definitely check it out. Pick one up for $35. It's got the EZ Craw in it, along with 4 other awesome Guadalupe bass flies. So thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.